Hey everybody, and welcome back to Chasing the God Shot. My name is Bubba. Today we have Diego Baraona with us. Thank you for joining us, Diego.
Thank you, Bubba. It's a pleasure to be here.
Cool. Thank you. And for those who haven't seen the podcast yet, what Chasing the God Shot is we talk to people in the coffee industry about their experience with the God Shot. So the first question that we have today for you, Diego, is what do you do in the coffee industry?
Yeah, so I'm Diego Baraona here in El Salvador. I'm the full-time coffee producer of Los Pirineos coffee farm, located on the eastern side of the country in Berlin, Usulután. I'm heading right now into my third year as a full-time producer, and so far it's been a great journey, super formative, life-changing experience.
And I think you mentioned before this, but you're fifth generation, right? You said how many years was that?
I'm a fifth generation, 140 years of coffee farming history in my family. Yep.
That's awesome. It's a lot of generations.
It's in the blood.
Yeah. So the next question would be, what is your definition of a God Shot to you?
Yeah, so before talking to you, I was like, what's a God Shot? But like, for me, the way I sensed it is something that you try for the first time and it blows your mind and completely changes your perspective on processing or things.
Awesome. So do you remember your first God Shot experience?
Yeah, it was actually when I first got back to the country and I took over the farm, and in 2020 I tried the coffee cherry of my favorite coffee variety called Sudan Rume. I tried it and it was like this mind-blowing explosion of flavors of papaya, apricot. You had some jasmine, coffee flower. I was like, wow. I was like, this is how a coffee cherry tastes. And then after we process it into a wash process, a natural process, I cupped it for the first time, and you could literally taste the same attributes on the coffee cherry on the.
Oh my gosh!
You could taste it on the cup every single time. And of all the coffee I've tried before and the varieties, it was probably the first one that the coffee cherry completely translated to the cup. It was amazing.
That's crazy on a couple of different levels. Like just to be able to not only have a God Shot experience with a coffee, but to actually taste the raw product.
Yeah.
And have a very similar experience. That I think a lot of people would pay a lot of money for, to experience that whole thing. That was a trip.
Yeah.
And that was at your farm, one of your farms?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have around 80 different coffee varieties. We have those 80, 22 of them are in full-time production. But my favorite one is Sudan Rume because of that attribute, because the cherry translates completely to the cup, and that's amazing.
That's pretty crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
So like how has that experience, has that affected or changed your career, your path in any way? Because at that time I think you're already in the production side, right? Like did that alter or change your journey, your path?
Yeah, so after trying that, I was like, okay, if I can achieve this with this variety, I think I can also achieve it with the other ones, you know. So I'm trying to be really focused on those like little details on how can I produce those kind of cups, you know, every single year and be consistent. So it's been really motivating, and it's driven me to be consistent or try to be consistent every single year in achieving that, you know. That's
crazy. So that kind of set the benchmark for like the quality of what you want to be able to produce moving forward.
Set a really high bar for myself.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's pretty cool to hear. That's the first time I've ever heard that before. Wow. So do you have any particular roasters outside of your production-wise coffee you produce, but any roasters or coffee shops that you think people may be able to find their next God Shot experience?
Yeah, I would say one, Cafés El Magnífico in Barcelona. They're super really friendly people, and they have a really a great diversity of coffees and origins. It's amazing. I've tried some really interesting Ethiopians and Kenyan coffees there. Amazing. And then I would say in Sweden, in Gothenburg, I would say Morgan Coffee Roasters. Really cool. And in Copenhagen, Prolog Coffee also.
Okay, awesome. Well, are you partial to more like drip coffee, like a pour over, or like a that style, or more like an espresso Do you have like a preference to those when you're tasting?
I'm mostly pour over. But
Okay.
recently I've been getting into flat white. I don't know why, but recently flat white is my go-to drink.
Okay, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing we have left is where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you, learn more about you and your company?
Yeah. So you can follow us on Instagram at Los Pirineos Coffee, or myself at Diego.Baraona.
Okay, perfect, awesome. Well, thank you, Diego, for taking the time to chat with me, and thank you for everybody who's listening to this. And I will make sure to put all the information that we talked about in the description. And you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again. Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Bye.
you.